Este es un informe muy especial para mí, Jonny Lish, que es un amigo al que conocí a través de Henry May allá por 2014. 2014, su primer partido fue el famoso encuentro en el que Huracán festejaba un nuevo aniversario de vida y a su vez se interrumpía el partido por incidentes, Sportivo Belgrano de San Francisco, y que increíblemente, después de esa primera experiencia, Jonny, que es inglés, iba a tener la posibilidad de ver a Huracán campeón en San Juan, en la Copa Argentina, con varios obstáculos de por medio. Es una historia imperdible y que me parece que está muy buena, que pueda tomar trascendencia justamente en el Día Internacional del Hincha Huracán. Looking very different.
Yeah, no barba, no hair in a top knot. Life has been cruel to me, I must say. This shirt is really special to me. It's the only Huracán shirt I have. You gave it to me.
Yes, it was a special.
It was very special. Because of the memories that you have, I always have to wear this shirt. I started in Colombia when we flew to Bogotá to meet Henry. We traveled into Manaus and we watched England play Italy in the first game of the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then since that day, I cycled Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile.
Cayó un proyectil cerca del árbitro.
Bueno, ya no se debe jugar más, ya está,
No,
muchachos.
ya está,
muchachos.
Ya está, no hay garantías.
24 minutos de segundo tiempo, no hay garantías.
The experience that I had maybe a month before at El Ducó was the opposite of lifting the trophy in San Juan. Perhaps you remember taking me to a game and was it cancelled after 60 minutes? And we
More
were
or less,
fearing,
yes.
fearing
Huracán
for our lives.
was losing
get
like 3-0.
So in the time that it took for Huracán to reach the final, I was cycling with a tent, carrying a stove, just cooking food on the road. I made it to Rosario. I made a friend called Matias who said, "Oh, you can stay in my house, eat my food, and then I'll join you to Mendoza." So we just started cycling, and I just forgot everything about Huracán. I had a great time in Buenos Aires. Parque Patricios.
Yes.
I think we spent a lot of time there just hanging out, eating pizza and drinking beer and just talking about football. So this was gone from my mind. I was using a really old mobile phone. Matthias was letting me use his hotspot now and again for messages from home, whatever. And then one day, Henry May said, Huracán have made it to the final of what's the
Copa Argentina.
Copa?
It was the
It was
Argentinian
the
Cup.
Copa Argentina, right? Of course, yeah. So, and I was like, yeah, right. Huracán, like, they're terrible.
Señores, Huracán a la final. Ganó el Globo, Huracán finalista. Huracán, Huracán, Huracán. El Globo, señores, toma impulso. Sobrevuela Formosa. El título saliente de la noche futbolera de la Copa Argentina es Huracán a la final.
I have a few surprises for you about your travel in Buenos Aires. Maybe a big surprise is coming now. Henry May. Hi,
No
Henry.
way. El Grande himself.
I said to him, you've got to go and experience Huracán, like I say to anyone who's in Buenos Aires that I know. And so I told Jonny, I think I connected Jonny to you, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. And I said, yeah, go meet this guy called Brian, go see what it's like. And Jonny has he's very open-minded. He has a very optimistic outlook on life. So he says yes to things. He says yes to adventures. And so Jonny went and he had his first experience of Huracán, and it was kind of a crazy experience.
Unbelievable. Brian said, we've got to get you out alive, Jonny.
This was a video that I don't know, Johnny, if you remember, you record and publish on your channel, on your YouTube channel, to Henry. The title is Message to Henry May.
All right, Henry, I've made it to the stadium, but I have no money, no ticket, and no telephone. So no battery, no Wi-Fi, no means of contacting Brian, who's inside, no means of contacting Luciano, who has a spare ticket. But yeah, well, the game's 5 minutes underway. I believe it's still 0-0. More to follow.
It's like a goodbye message.
Have you ever seen that video? It was like the black box from the plane.
Yes. I don't know if I've seen that video. Maybe. The possibility of from when I sent Johnny a message saying, Johnny, Huracán are playing in a cup final, I think close to you. From that moment to Johnny getting to the stadium is like 1 in a million.
Yes, totally.
Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like there's too many things that can go wrong, but everything seems to go right.
This is like a ridiculous end to a fantastic week of cycling, and I said, like, man, I've got to get to Mendoza now. There's a game in like 3 hours, and it's more important than life itself. Henry May said, you've got to get there by any and all means possible. So we stopped the cycling and we started hitchhiking to Mendoza. And after like 20 minutes, a van picked us up. It was full of kids. It was a family. It was a man, a woman, 3 children, and then in the back of the van, 2 bicycles and 2 really hairy, smelly cyclists. So they dropped us off on the outskirts of Mendoza, and then, ashamedly, nobody knows this bit yet, Matthias got a puncture, and I said, I'm sorry, mate, I've got to go to this football match. This is Mendoza. I still had to get somehow to San Juan. I called a Mexican friend who was on a motorbike trip to Ushuaia and back, and he was in Mendoza. He said, oh, I've met this Argentinian guy called Nico, who I met in Brazil. So Caesar met Nico in Brazil. I knew Caesar from Ushuaia, from the trip. I said, where does Nico live? I'm coming now with all of my stuff, and I'm going to get a bus to San Juan, and I'm going to see this match. So Caesar said, oh, well, Nico lives with his mother, his abuela, his grandma, his 3 sisters, and a little shit dog. I don't think there's any space for you. And I said, it'll be fine. Give me the address. I arrived, dumped all my bicycles, said hello to the grandma, and then the Mexican took me on his motorbike to the bus station. The bus station, meanwhile I was trying to contact you. You were like inside the stadium at this point with your friends and your father and your cousin. Yes. And on the bus, there was just one guy wearing a Sportivo Rosario jersey. And I was like, dressed in full Huracán. And I was like,
I was speaking Spanish.
At this point, my Spanish was amazing, but I was like, ¿Dónde está el estadio? And he was like, what the fuck? Are you even speaking to me like you can't? So he spoke to the bus driver, because he was going to the match, obviously. He spoke to the bus driver to let him off somewhere near the stadium. And I just followed him, and then he started jogging up the road, but he did eventually make it to the stadium. So we made it to the stadium 10 minutes after the game had started, and I didn't have a ticket. I just had chicle. I had some chewing gum, and I was trying to like just say, "Oh, my friends have my ticket." If this was the FA Cup final in Wembley, and some Argentinian guy was like, "Oh, friend has my ticket inside, please let me in," they'd be like, "Jog on." But in Argentina, after like 25 minutes of just me hanging around, bothering the security guard, they were like, okay, vale.
So Henry, thank you.
I'm
Nice.
glad that it took us this call to speak to each other for the first time in a few years. And yeah, of course, feliz día del hincha, todos los hinchas de Huracán. The best hinchas in the world.
It is very international because I am in Buenos Aires, you are in Bogotá, and Jonny is in England. Which city?
Northumberland, near
Where is it?
Newcastle.
Near Newcastle, your team.
My home team. I wrote down, but I haven't actually read it until you said you wanted to talk to me.
Do you have any, how do you say, souvenir?
Yeah, so like,
Maybe like a ticket or anything?
I don't know what I'm gonna find in here. Oh my God. Right, so you're looking at it for the first time in 8
Yes.
years that I've seen it. So there's a,
Figurita, we say.
from the Brazil World Cup, the England badge.
You have the ticket.
I think you gave me this ticket.
Huracán Sportivo Belgrano. I will show you some pictures to end our nice travel to the past.
Oh, baby, there
With
it
the
is.
cup. Yes.
Was
It's
that the real
an
cup?
honor.
They would not give me the cup, surely not. It was the real cup. Of course it was the real cup. Happiest day of my life.
That day, pay attention, you paint the stadium, you paint the star to celebrate the title.
Yes.
This picture is the best.
So we were just walking around, like we got access to the stadium. The Huracán FC London team had played on there. This was just the presentation, and some guys were painting stars on the pitch, and I was like, I've got to help. I need to be a part of this legacy. And when you get there, the passion is phenomenal. The stadium's perfect.
As I told you at the beginning, it is a special day for Huracan's fans. Can you say that a little piece of your heart is from Huracán?
Brian, I think a big piece of my heart is for Huracán. And actually, at this time, all of my love for Newcastle United went straight to Huracán, and it stayed the same size. There's no kinder words I can say than I fucking love Huracán. And everything about it was a wonderful experience.